If you skip to, if you queue up at 1 minute and 58 seconds, this is Dr. Disrespect going live and admitting on cheating on his wife on stream.
Which, by the way, is the best example of why never to be yourself as a Twitch streamer.
Right.
Anyways, are we queuing up?
I'm trying to. Yeah, this is
queuing up
taking me.
at 1:15. You said, Kyle.
158, I believe.
158.
Yeah, it's not 121 because that's where.
Do you want me to mute this? I can't mute it without muting you. Never mind. You don't have the option. Forget it. So this is going to be embedded in the audio of this, Woody. Probably won't matter because you haven't crashed, but.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay. So I'm at 158. I'm ready. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Ready, set, play.
Kind of have a little bit of an announcement. And I just want to be completely transparent with you guys. As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid, and I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful, and I'm probably going to be taking some time away, time off, to focus on stupid fucking mistakes, man.
Jesus.
I thought it was going to be a prank.
I'm going to take time off to focus on my family, and
yeah, this isn't funny.
And so,
well, is this real or not?
I wanted to let you guys know that. And
why do you say that?
I apologize to you guys and Slick Daddy.
Just
you guys are
longer.
I apologize to you guys, my sponsors in Twitch. And this is not who I am. It's not what I represent. And that's it.
So many thoughts on that. So many thoughts on that.
So deep. I was 80% sure it was a joke. I thought he was going to bust out and be like, and I'm the two-time, like, I don't know, just like a play with it. He always says he's the two-time blockbuster champion of like 1996 and 7. I thought he was going to bust out joking. That's where I thought that was going.
Because that guy's an incredible streamer. I'm really surprised to see that. If that is why the 180 entirely from character. Why give that element to the fan? I'm curious. Go ahead.
Just my theory. I think that the aspect of genuinely touching people, like there are a lot of people who found happiness through his streams that weren't finding it elsewhere. And he did an acceptance award speech type thing. And he was like, man, like I started off just goofing off and I didn't realize how important this was going to be to some people. And like, I feel like I went through a similar thing on my channel where like at some point you realize that like, at least some portion of your audience has latched on to you and you mean more than some character on How You Met Your Mother, right? Like some people were going to Dr. Disrespect and finding a little joy and a little brightness in their life through his streams. And it seemed to have a huge impact on him. And I think that this is an offshoot of that. Like, hey, I made a mistake here. And, to those people who think that this is important, then I have a responsibility to be the full version of me to you. Like that, I don't know. It's what's in my head. Something along those lines.
Well, that was interesting. I knew it wasn't going to be a gag or anything. It's over there on live. It's on it's the front page of Reddit and live stream fails and everything. I knew he was coming clean about cheating on his wife. That was pretty powerful. That's interesting.
One thing that resonates that as I was watching it bounced into my head, and I think about it earlier. There are so many people on YouTube that achieve some level of success and then ruin their lives. Like it's almost a rarity. Like when the cliche of the lottery winner is that like they're going to end up in debt or in jail or something like that. And I think I saw statistics where like that's really common. That's super common on YouTube. There's so many people who like things start going well for them, and then all the order that they had leading into YouTube is gone.
Yeah.
And
I've been planning for that for so long. That's why I'm not making it big. I'm taking my time just so I really don't, I don't want to go down that rabbit
Pace
hole.
yourself.
That's right. I'm gonna stay small for a real long time so I sneak up on it.
For a real long time.
That's
When
right.
all the opportunities for young pussy are
Yeah,
long
fuck
gone.
that. Fuck that. I'm smarter than that.
That's
I
really
didn't know
funny.
that Dr. Disrespect was so like big. Like
Oh,
I
he's
just remember
huge.
he had a
kidding me?
YouTube. I don't watch any streams, so I just remember he had a YouTube channel from years and years and years ago, and some of those videos were funny, where he'd like kill someone and like edit to like something dark and be like, "Ooh, I bet you liked that, didn't you?" And like they're just like little like quips, like, and it made me
Yeah.
laugh.
I don't know anything
What
about his
is he all a
history.
streamer now?
He's
Yeah,
number
so
one
he was a
streamer on
Call
Twitch
of-
right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's huge on Twitch with PUBG. But see, back in the
He's
day,
going
Taylor
something
and
it's just perspective. It's 25 to 50,000 live viewers any given time you log onto his stream.
yeah. So Taylor and I really knew him from the Call of Duty days back when he was really tiny, and he'd do like these live action skits with Randy.
Yeah,
When he's
with
like-
Randy.
he's be portraying multiple characters and all these costumes and wigs and mustaches and stuff, and like really awkward black and white like videos. And then of course he'd make Call of Duty commentaries where he's talking lots of shit and absolute bloodshed. yeah, it was really funny stuff.
It was the same character, really. Like not much
Yeah.
has changed. I always, back in the day, one, he used to call me out a ton. And it was basically, he felt like he was a better gamer than me, therefore he should be more popular. That was the core of it. But
But wasn't his character that like he was the best of all? Like,
Yes.
like
that's
he was
his character. But no, this wasn't in character. This was like Facebook rants and shit like that. And I was always pretty gracious to him. We went, at one time I wanted to be the community manager in Call of Duty. And it turned out they had already hired him before I even sort of like, was going to submit a resume. And my fans were hating on him, and I was like, "Don't do that. Like, it's not his fault, Even if I had got my resume in time, he has the same right to the job that I do." I thought I was very good towards him, and it didn't come in return. But what I really didn't like was this: he picked on X-Jaws a ton, and X-Jaws was only 16, and I just thought that like he's a grown man picking on a kid, and I thought that was like, wait until he grows up. He had one of the characters that Kyle mentioned was an X-Jaws parody where he'd like put on big chains and talk about his money, and it was just a way to attack X-Jaws. And X-Jaws.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. So, but then he went in the corporate world, and I think he started as a community manager for Sledgehammer, and then, if I'm right, he did some map design and stuff that took advantage of his gaming expertise. And then he went from there to streaming, got super popular, and then like so many popular people on YouTube or Twitch, just like broke him.
Cheats on his girlfriend.
You think he's
wife.
broken now? You think that's broken?
What did you think?
From that? Like clearly he's upset. Clearly he's going through a rough spot in something. I would be shocked if that influenced shit for his channel size.
Oh,
his
no.
viewership.
Well, what might influence it is the time he takes off. But
Yes.
what I was saying, I wasn't saying that, like, if he didn't take time off, his career wouldn't be broken at all. But his relationship will forever be scarred. Like that doesn't go back to.
Oh, yeah.
fresh
But you think
again.
that is an outcome of his success in Twitch?
I
You
do.
think is that okay? I
Not
guess
just
I have
Twitch,
no.
like, and it's
well, whatever
but, like
his
all the
professional life
wrappings
is
that
right now.
come with it, the travel, the fame,
As I said, I'm a
people
small
idolizing
YouTuber. I
you.
don't. There are not large numbers of people idolizing me. I haven't had that temptation or problem yet. So
He's
I can
going
see-
on stage, bringing people to tears with his acceptance speeches and that kind of thing. Like,
I see.
like I think that experience changes a lot of people, not just him. Like, you might be thinking, if you're watching this, that would never happen to me, but it might.
Yeah, it's like that whole South Park episode joke where it's like, why do all these men with money and fame and recognition just keep fucking women other tof wives? Like, don't they realize that they have perfectly loving, happy wives at home they would love to be with? And like, they're like eyeing all the women in the room. Like, are they buying it? Like of course. all of us know why he did that, because it's very difficult to turn down sex. Like, and he's probably getting it thrown at him way more often than any of us. If he's the big guy on Twitch.
Two things that. One, we've had this conversation before, but let's have it again. Monogamy is an option. It's a negotiated option you choose in your relationship. You don't have to have that as a choice in your relationship. Negotiate that shit. And this just goes back to, again, what, Taylor, I keep pointing out to you is, facetiously most of the time, and not like I'm trying to give advice either way on that, but like you have the ability to choose the relationship you're in. And that may be,
he didn't do that. He cheated in a monogamous relationship, it seems.
Right. He didn't do a very good job of fucking discussing what he wanted and what she wanted in that relationship. And like, or felt the temptation. I suppose that's a possibility too. But if really that is something that is, coming with this, there should have been a conversation about that. And there should have been some discussion about what that looks like for their lives. And that, or rather, if they had done that, they could have avoided being where they're at right now.
Yeah.
They could have, but like the outcome probably would have been like, no, then we're done. Like, I'm not cool with you fucking around. And then, like, I just can't even imagine having that conversation. Like, when I'm in a relationship,
do it ahead of time. Do it going into a relationship, not in the middle of a relationship. Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and Filthy's right. You choose it. You'd have open communication and stuff. That would not work for me. I'm very much possessive.
Sure.
About my
and the
wife.
answer, and it might be that is not what you guys want, but the point is you will save yourself grief in the long run if you have some understanding of who you are and who they are and have negotiated ahead of time what that looks like together. I mean, like, I can't be more clear on this. It seems like many fucking problems
totally
in life are related to that.
Yeah, I'm tracking with you 100%. It doesn't even enter into my mind as like a possible relationship. I would never be cool with an open relationship. Like,
well, you don't have to see. You're predefining it though,
exactly,
right?
Again.
Like you've already decided what an open relationship means. When the
what does it mean? Well, at the very least, it means fucking
Taylor,
someone who's not you, and I'm not
Taylor,
cool with that.
What if
it doesn't have to be that?
Well, let me give an example, Kyle. Right. So, What if part of your relationship was, the two of you are at a bar, you and the girlfriend you're with are at a bar, and you see another cute girl and you decide that'd be a fun girl to bring home for a threesome. Is that okay?
Okay. But I'm still like involved in that. Like, it's something that we're deciding together.
But that is technically not monogamy anymore.
That's true. That's definitely true. I guess it would come down to like,
how do you define
the aspect of not
being
in.
I don't want to change the topic too much, but on Filthy's thing, you got the threesome. You bring home a girl. That girl brings yours to orgasm. Are you jealous of that?
I'm probably enjoying that.
Yeah, me too. It's weird. Now, if it were a guy, I'd be very jealous. Right, I like that. We're playing the same game. Like, no. But right. But if it's
a different character,
if it's a girl, like, no. Like, we bring a completely different set of tools to the table here, and it's somehow that I don't feel like I'm competing so directly if there's a girl in the bed.
What if it's a transsexual, Woody? What if it's Bailey J?
Ooh, I really have to put this together. I think that the jealousy level definitely. If people don't know, Bailey J is a very hot girl with a dick, and I would be jealous of that for sure.
But not as jealous as if it were some guy named Buck Nasty.
As I'm putting it together, I think I'm more jealous of Bailey J. I think in this case, it's the presence of the dick. I think.
No. I know you'd be more jealous of Bailey J over a woman with a vagina, but you'd be less jealous of Bailey J than of, like, a running back for the 49ers.
Right. No, you picked out that other guy, the opposite, the one with all the muscles in the vagina.
Buck Nasty isn't actually. Buck Angel is the. I'm sorry, that was confusing.
I like Buck Nasty more.
Yeah, Buck Nasty is just some random male porn star. Buck Angel is the woman who looks like a man. That's my fault for muddying the waters.
Well, we'll make it, whatever. Roger Aaron, the football player from Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. That's who he actually is. I would be very jealous of that guy if he were in our bed. Like, I wouldn't be okay with that. So, I will admit there's levels there, but
again, this is what blew my fucking mind when I realized this. Man, I was this wasn't like an idea that I'd come across till much later than life. It certainly wasn't an idea I'd come across in high school or whatever else. It's just that you define what your relationship is, and there's all sorts of people out in the world doing all sorts of relationships that I look at and go, how the fuck does that work? Or I look at that and I go, I would never want to be a part of that. Or I look at that and go, holy shit, how do I get that relationship? And it's just, they often are not just the kind of the norm you're raised in. It's often not a dyadic pair with a monogamous relationship. It's just often there are other ways to do it. And it blew my mind when I fucking realized that was an option available to you.
So
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't
right,
have-
but like, okay, if the only kind of girl you like is exactly 5'4", 115 pounds with the B cup and 6 toes, then you're really limiting the amount of girls that
Alabama girl.
right? In that situation, now, like, 0.1% of the population is on the menu for you. When you're looking for girls that, like, all right, yeah, the only kind of non-monogamy we stray from is hot chicks coming into our bed. How many women are okay with that? You've really narrowed their dating pool.
Sure, absolutely.
It's not as narrow as you might think. It narrows things, but not as narrow as if you're looking for someone with an odd number of toes, for example. I promise.
And again, like,
yeah,
this is
I feel like
negotiation.
and I also feel like, I'm sorry to cut you off, Filthy, that today's tools might help you, right? Like, back in the day,
Yes.
how many women can you meet in a week? 2, 4?
Yeah.
You know,
How many
like,
how many women in a week does Taylor swipe no on? Like, how many fucking, like, on I mean, not Taylor in general, but like, but like, seriously, with that kind of power in terms of the number game.
Yeah, it is. Like,
find
and
the
if
person
that's
that
what you want,
does what
like,
you
I have no
fucking want in
problem
life.
with it. Like, if I agree with you. Like, if you're entering a relationship and you know, like, man, I can't get off unless, there's 4 other girls in the mix. Like, you got to let them know up front. 'Cause otherwise it's not gonna work out. Like, I'm behind that. I just also see it as like the Woody, quandary of like it really does take like no fucking, like, you really ruin your fucking chances. What are you guys giggling about?
I don't know.
Don't say it.
No, why not? I thought it was good. Why not?
It's complicated. I'll tell you after the show. It's a thing that that's very funny though, Chiz.
All right, I guess Chiz made a good joke.
And I
The
don't
host has said I should not
fully
say
get
anything about it,
either.
so I'll be quiet.
I missed it. Well,
In any case, yeah,
in any case,
We'll move on.
Onward and upward.
Look over there.
you're absolutely right, Lefty.
Lefty.
I'm so sorry.
That's a
I'm so
Freudian
sorry,
slip.
Filthy. Oh, goodness, you're not in a wheelchair.
I think so. Not yet.
Yeah. So I think
fine.
that
We
there's
didn't
this
negotiate
idea.
that.
I think there's this idea that, like, there are boxes that need to be checked, or that relationships are cookie cutter. You either have this type relationship, A or B or C, and you have to pick one. Just like with political parties, I saw someone on the subreddit who's like, well, Kyle and Taylor are hardcore Republicans. And we're like, what makes you think Republicans don't? Well, you don't like Democrats. It's like, so it's either A or B? Like, what?
Right.
Why does this have to be this binary thing? I'm somewhere weird, fluid. It's fine for people to be gender fluid, but I can't be politically fluid. I'm somewhere in the ether, in the center of all this, and I agree with parts from both parties, while at the same time recognizing the inherent corruption and hypocrisy of the entire political system. Right? You can't define me as a hardcore Republican. Come on, that's shit.
Yeah, I agree. You're definitely not. Like, do we? I guess we're kind of like getting towards politics now, or net neutrality. That's pretty politicky.
Yeah.
I need
Are we
somebody.
done reacting to that? Because I would say that's fucked up. It's like, I mean, like, he was clearly, I mean, it's tough to say when someone makes their living streaming a character. When someone does a emotional response, you do have to step back and wonder, is this an emotional response, or is this a character's emotional response? But it does look like he was
took
certainly
the clothes off. Right? I felt like, to me, the part that he came out of costume was an intentional
Symbolic.
signal. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it certainly could be, and it's interesting that, I mean, do you think
He's
that,
explaining
out of
why
curiosity,
he's
as a
not gonna stream
professional,
for a
do you think
while.
it's a wise idea?
It's like
to do
Daddy
that?
made a few mistakes.
I don't think. I think that his fan base will be very forgiving of the fact that he's imperfect, and they'll not turn on him for taking I'm guessing, a couple weeks off. It does take
What is he
us-
doing in a couple weeks? So what is this time off for, out of curiosity? You think it is like couples counseling style stuff? Like, this is going to be so large of a time commitment that he will be unable to do his essentially regular routine, or just don't think he'll be emotionally able to do it?
Man, we're just guessing, but like, based on what he said there and how broken up he was, it's possible that maybe his wife has moved him out, or he's moved out, and there are children involved. So like,
Are
it
there?
sounds like
He
I
said
believe
a
it
child.
says that
Brooke
in
said.
that
Oh,
video,
yeah.
child, children, whatever. And it sounds like, he's gonna either be trying to make this right with her, or he's gonna be, or maybe it can't be made right, and he's dealing with the emotional, consequences of that, and doesn't feel like he's gonna be able to stream. So I wish him the best. I don't really have any interaction with him ever. I don't really think, maybe once or twice, but he always seemed like a cool guy to me, and I always dug what he did with the character, and clearly he's found a huge following these days. So I wish him the best.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I do too. I'm not hung up on what he did 7 years ago. It just, to me,
You've never been one to hold a grudge.
I mean,
Oh man, Woody holds a fucking grudge.
we etched that shit in stone.
We talk about stuff off the show, and it's funny, the ones that you're just like, oh
Okay.
no,
The first
that'll never be over.
that will never
second,
be something
third,
that goes
fourth,
under the
and
bridge.
fifth time I think I heard about straw men and this, that, and the other for the first time I was on. Like I was wondering, and like we're still now on the expert thing. This is like 3 times later, I think, at this point. So
That's not a grudge though. That's just it's a callback.
It's a
no,
call-
that's right. It's a
Are you
callback.
trying to get back into straw man territory here? Because he'll put you back there.
I've made a huge mistake again, haven't I?